Hi, this is Mark Wahlstrom. You're watching Speaking of Settlements, a featured broadcast here on the Legal Broadcast Network. Well, today we're going to be announcing and going into a series that we're going to be doing at least one show a week during the month of August, discussing the issue of alternatives to structured settlements. Or we could also title this, Why Should I Structure My Money Using a Fixed Index Structured Settlement Annuity, and what is the lowest interest rate environment that we've seen in decades? This is a question that people in my profession don't really like to address, but the fact is that there is a sharp decline in the number of cases being structured. There's a lot of prejudice being built up, I think, in the planning community and the special needs community. There's a lot of investment advisors and registered reps who are moving into this territory. And this is a question that I get asked many, many times by people in personal injury cases. So we thought it'd be helpful if we took the month of August and broke it into 4 parts and 4 series. So during this month-long piece, we're going to be looking at 4 key topics. The first one is going to be about the structured settlement annuity itself, the pros and the cons of using a structured settlement annuity in a low interest rate environment. That's the first question that we're always asked, and people need to wrestle with, and a lot of advisors need to look at. We've talked about whether or not it's suitable putting people into a fixed rate product at a time when I think everybody recognizes we're at a cyclical low in interest rates. Does this make sense? Is it good for the advisor? Is there any professional liability by us doing this kind of planning? And talking about suitability issues, something that doesn't often come up in structured settlements, but which I think is going to become a hot issue over the next 2 to 5 years. The other series that we're going to do, the second segment I should say, is on fixed indexed annuities. There is a growing push in the settlement planning area to begin to incorporate what are known as fixed indexed annuities into settlement planning. These annuity products are not securities. They're not under the purview of FINRA. They are straight insurance products, but they've been around a long time. They've been used in retirement planning largely, in elder law situations where people were looking to create guaranteed income, safety of principal, but also getting a stock market index return. Some of the more creative and innovative products in this area, in a side-by-side comparison with structured settlements, many people feel that even after the tax benefits of the structure are factored in, that these fixed index annuities are superior products for a wide group of claimants. So this is something we want to look at, see whether or not these make sense, some of the pros and cons on these, and what people need to look out for, and what the advantages are to them. So we'd like to have a clear discussion on that product. The third segment in the third week of August is going to be on the issue of managed trust accounts. Now, there's a lot of trust companies that are moving into the settlement planning space, people who are looking at the advantages of a custodial account, managed accounts, and RIAs. We're seeing an enormous push by many settlement planning firms, as well as those who are outside our industry, to collect assets. The argument or the sales pitch is that at these interest rates, the structure doesn't make any sense. You need managed funds. Put the money with us, and we're going to take care of it and manage it for you, and you're going to do better than the structured settlement annuity. Well, that's all well and good, but many times we're talking about organizations that don't have experience in this area, advisors who are not really licensed or have no track record in the area of investment management. They're working really as solicitors for trust companies and RIAs. And we really have to look at and investigate what the cost of these are, the management teams behind these, whether or not these really make sense in the long term, and if people are exposing themselves potentially to higher fees, higher taxation, possibly less than stellar investment managers or inexperienced managers, or people who simply don't understand long-term money management for people who can't afford to lose their money. So we want to really kind of take a look at how those products, how those services are being solicited. And then finally, our last segment is going to be on the issue of bond trusts and laddered bond funds. I'm going to title this section right now, A Disaster Waiting to Happen. There are several organizations in the settlement planning community, and again, trust companies and investment advisors, who are out aggressively soliciting what are known as bond portfolios, laddered trusts, where you buy a series of bonds, you get a fixed rate of return, and at the end of that period of time, you get all of your money back as the bonds mature. In theory, it could work. Again, you're paying taxes on that income. You have a manager who's taking a fee. You have credit risk. You have market risk. And as interest rates take off, the value of bond portfolios are going to collapse. We've already seen that to a small degree this year in 2013. If interest rates do take off again, these bond portfolios and managed bond funds are going to be decimated. So we really want to talk about the management of that risk, whether or not these are appropriate, what people are getting into. The purpose, again, of this series is not to portray any particular investment as perfect or any particular investment as a disaster. We want to begin to talk about suitability, where they work, what people need to be aware of, and how to make an informed decision about what to do with your settlement proceeds. You have a lot of choices, you have a lot of options, and we're going to explore them this month in August of 2013 and begin to give people an idea of what you can do and the best practices as far as managing your settlement proceeds. I hope you'll join us for each one of the series. We'll be putting it on Speaking of Settlements. We'll be putting it on the Settlement Channel as well as the Legal Broadcast Network, so it'll have wide distribution. And if you have any questions about the series, or if you just have questions about settlement planning in general, you can always contact me, Mark Wahlstrom, at my office at Wahlstrom & Associates. The number is right here at the bottom, as well as our website. And we'll be happy to answer your individual questions regarding any settlement planning questions that you have. Again, thanks for joining us this week, and I'm looking forward to this series here in August. We hope that you will find it to be of value. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you again next week.